Greetings and welcome back to Magic with Tamala Farron. Now, we just spoke about acorns, but we didn't speak about pine cones. And they're just as magical. They are just amazing. And a lot of people gather them and use them, especially around Yule time. And that's cool. That is very cool. But it's a representation of rebirth, enlightenment, protection, and fertility. It is a connection to the third eye. It has healing and resilience properties. You can use them in healing spells, and you can use them in mojo bags, and in even when you're working a candle, you can lay them around the candles and you've got protection, you've got fertility in them. In other words, it's not just fertility as in getting pregnant, it's in fertility as in the growth of an idea, creativity, positive motion, actions. It builds and moves forward with the greatest of ease. Now, a lot of times, and you'll see this on breed day, you'll see some will have on top of staves or wands, they'll have a pine cone, and it's very basic phallic symbology. And it's used in magic in that reform where it's a positive for the masculine, so that the fertility, the guidance of connection is not just for the rebirth of creativity, but also for the rebirth of a god or of a child that you wish to get impregnated with. It is symbolic. It is absolutely imperative when doing fertility rites that you have symbolism of both the female and the male, and the seeds. Even pine cones are seeds. It really generates the activity of growth and positive life. And it brings forth a really good essence of guidance for those who are looking for help. I always say go see the doctors, always. But why not add a little bit of magic on the side? Never did hurt anything. And if it helps, and I think it does, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Another thing is it's worked with spells for connecting to your higher self and nature. Again, seed, growth. So you want this connection, you want this to build on. So if you're doing meditations and you want to ground and you want to connect with your spirits and nature, have a bowl of pine cones sitting there. The energy is powerful. They're great for protection. If you put them in a bag with cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and you shake them up, you've just doubled their energy. And you can place them around your home, on your altar, anywhere for protection. You've just amped up the energy that they're already giving off. It's nature. So you've added a very powerful, you can even put nutmeg in there, and that will add to it as well. And boom, you have a very, very, very powerful protection amulet. It's so simple. You can add some to a pouch for protection. If you're using your cards and you have them in a tarot bag, you can put a couple acorns, a couple of pine cones in there, and you've got added protection. It's so simple, and most people don't even pay attention. They're all over the ground. Gather some up. It's really good to place them in protection for jar spells. They will amplify whatever you have in the jar, and they will work alongside with a strong protection. So if you're doing a jar for protection and you put one of those in there, especially if you dampened it with cinnamon, it will amplify everything you've done. If you do that for, say, a fertility jar, you're also adding extra protection. If you're doing this for a scrying jar, you're adding protection that will surround you while you're doing your scrying. There are so many aspects that you can utilize this with, and most people don't even realize. Like I said, it's all over. It's everywhere around you. Now, another thing that my kids used to love to do is they would take open pine cones like this, and they would put peanut butter in them. They would tie a string, and then they would roll them in birdseed and hang them from the trees. And they would do this throughout the fall and throughout winter, and they were absolutely devoured. They were loved by the birds. So it's another way of giving back. I also find that they are really good for hearth fires. If you have a bonfire pit in your circle, add a couple of these. They will burn strongly, and they will protect the circle while you are working your magic. So it's an added protection. If you have a wood stove, you've got some people coming over and you're just not too sure if you really feel comfortable with them being around, put a couple of these in the wood stove with your fire going. It adds protection, and it will encase your home with the protection. It's that simple. I find a lot of people don't realize how easy all of this is. It's there for everybody. Another thing that I've seen many times, and I find it really cool, is they take strips, long strips, and they write wishes. Then they roll them up and they stick them in a pine cone. Now, I've got some big pine cones I'd probably be using that for, but I've seen it done with little ones like this, and they put the wishes in here. Then they take the pine cone and they put it either in a cast iron cauldron or they put it in a bonfire, and the wishes come true. The wishes go off into the atmosphere, into the universe, and it's protected and it's guided, and it works the magic for you. But I've also seen people light them in a cauldron, cast iron cauldron outside, and they burn. No ifs, ands, or buts. Those little suckers burn fast, and well, not fast, but hard. They're really hot, and it'll burn the wishes into the universe and set them free to be reborn into whatever you've wished. And it's a great thing for a whole coven to do. You can have 4 or 5 of these and just sit them either in a bonfire pit, or you can sit them in a cauldron and outside and just light them, and there you go. Magic. And it's that easy. A lot of people, like I said, don't realize how easy everything is and how we can utilize it with every step we take. Simple, huh? I hope you enjoyed this. You take care. Do me a favor, please click like and subscribe. And I've got a reading coming up next. I hope you enjoy. Blessed be.